The next item on the order paper is a motion in the name of Mr. J.S. Malema, the Honorable Malema.
Thank you very much. Deputy President of the EFF and the leadership of the EFF, the people of South Africa, let me greet all those who agree that indeed our democracy to work, we need to hold the executive accountable. People of South Africa, let me begin by extending our deepest gratitude for the massive support shown for the national shutdown, which was held on the 20th of March 2023. The 20th of March marked one of the greatest national demonstrations post-1994, wherein thousands of our people registered their dissatisfaction of load shedding, unemployment, high levels of crime, gender-based violence, and lack of service delivery. Many of you affirmed the authority of the EFF to be superior to that of the President of South Africa and his entire cabinet combined by partaking in the shutdown because you cannot trust anything he and his government says. A majority of business remained closed, taxi ranks and buses were empty, no trains or trucks were moving on the day, and even load shedding was suspended due to low level of electricity demand, proving that major industries that uses electricity were not operational. The success and moral correctness of the national shutdown is proven by the fact that no one, not the state or the media, was able to dispute the logic for the national shutdown, and they all chose to attempt to divert and dilute its message by creating a myth of anarchy and destruction. We salute you for your support, and we salute you, all protesters, for their discipline and commitment to peaceful protest. We remain resolute on our demand for Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa to resign as the President of South Africa, and our people want reliable supply of electricity for their businesses, livelihoods, and for the economy to survive. The economic freedom fighters proved once more who is in charge in this country. When you said to business, is business as usual, open your shops, I said close. They closed. I'm in charge. I've got you by scrotum. There's nothing you can do, nothing. All of you combined. You can scream anyhow you want. Once more, I demonstrated to you black opposition, a white opposition with the ruling party combined. I'm in charge. And I want that to sink. You will tweet every day. You will call press conference every day. You will bring soldiers and police because the men in charge said shut down South Africa, and it was shut down. Whether you like it or not, in your cocoons, you are admitting that when the president speaks, that is a motion of no confidence, by the way. When the president speaks and say, open, I will protect you, they say, we can't trust you. They closed. Even this one of the dogs ran around everywhere saying, open, open, I'll protect you, but you never protect us any day. Why would you protect us today? They never listened to him. They closed. This ones ran to court and said, no, don't close. We have got an order, imaginary order. Cape Town, there won't be anything. Don't close. We're in charge here. Cape Town is ours. Cape Town is white. They can't do anything in the white area. They said to them, the business of Cape Town, we can't trust you. They closed because they knew who to trust. The economic freedom fighters established a motion of no confidence against the Speaker of the National Assembly, Ms. Nosiviwe Mapisa Ngakula. We did this because it has become clear that we are dealing with an unrepentant delinquent who abuses her power and violates the rule of the National Assembly and the Constitution. What we saw on the 9th of February 2023, when the Speaker called members of this House animals and violated the Constitution and the rules of the National Assembly when she allowed the police to invade Parliament, and made it worse by calling on the security forces of South Africa to enter the chambers to intimidate peaceful members of Parliament, is not something that we can take light. When the National Assembly convened a sitting for the presidency budget vote delivered by Mr. Ramaphosa in June 2022, we fearlessly stood up to demand that the only director of Ntabanyoni estate tells the country where he got the US dollars that were stolen at Palapala farm. She decided to generate and instruct the protection officer to assault members of parliament, including assaulting women members of parliament. Women members of parliament were also sexually assaulted because when they were being violently removed, beaten and pushed, their private parts were touched by men. We told the speaker in the same sitting that this is happening, but she ignored us because her sole mandate is to protect Ramaphosa. Whenever Mr. Ramaphosa is being held accountable, she chooses violence. She chose to abuse her powers, violate the Constitution and the rules of the National Assembly. She is happy when we leave these chambers in the hands of men who are unashamed to violate women members of parliament, touch our private parts and harass such that we end up in hospital seeking medical treatment. It is this speaker who denied the secret ballot vote on the establishment of the Section 89 committee into Palapala farm, despite members being threatened with removal by the ruling party should they decide to vote with their conscience. Ms. Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula has entered the office of the Speaker with a predetermined agenda of protecting Mr. Ramaphosa from any and all scrutiny at all costs. She has degenerated this parliament into a place of violence, censorship, and an arena where the Constitution is disrespected and violated. She has no shame that women were sexually assaulted under her watch as a female speaker. Mrs. Mapisa-Nqakula is a mistake of history and a step backwards for women leadership in this country. As the EFF, we table this motion of no confidence in the speaker because under her, the gains of our democracy are being reversed at a rapid rate. If she is to continue as a speaker, then the ruling party and its president will continue to loot state resources, launder money, evade tax, and violate the Constitution without any accountability. Her lack of tolerance for African opposition in this parliament is not acceptable and reaffirms to us that she is the speaker of a puppet government that suffers from a severe inferiority complex. As the EFF, we have long withdrawn any respect that they have offered to her, and this was made final when she resorted to calling democratically elected African members of parliament animals. She will go down the same empty path of her predecessor, Ms. Baleka Mbete, who is now in the dustbin of history for the same conduct she's exhibiting in this 6th democratically parliament. There is no future, there is no legacy, and there is no honor in defending corruption. And Mrs. Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula will learn this harsh lesson when we remove her political party from power in 2024. She will be remembered as an instrument of corruption, violence, and the descent of this parliament into heaven for dictatorship who deploy the military to suppress peaceful protests. Ms. Nosiviwe Nqakula is a tool for a president who has failed to lead South Africa and is fast taking this country towards collapse. She is nothing but a puppet whose legacy will be enhancing the sexual assault of women and enabling corruption and crushing the voices of accountability in parliament. Like a handler, she must be removed, and she must be removed now. Thank you.